I'm Celine.
And welcome back to another episode of
We Are Podcast.
So, Taylor Swift's album came out today. The day we are posting this.
Yup.
And we have decided we wouldn't film an episode last week for Friday, but we'll film it this week. Actually, it's the same week. But anyways, we film it now so we can give you the most relevant, up-to-date review of her album.
Exactly. And let me tell you,
This is off-brand for us, because I feel like normally we try to educate about, like, the world.
we are educating people about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, sometimes we need a little bit of comedic relief in between all the political turmoil that we experience.
Exactly. But speaking of political turmoil, those songs.
Ooh. So yeah, today's gonna be a little bit just more of a fun, chill episode about her album because we feel like it's something that affects the lives of many teens. And it's something very important, and we need to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed up until like 11 last night listening to this song.
Yeah, literally. And then I stayed up until 1 reading It Starts With Us.
Which is another book that came out recently, this week actually.
I'm gonna die.
It's really bad.
No, what? Shut up!
The book is so bad.
Latlis is more beautiful than it has.
Latlis.
No one wants your opinion!
Latlis sounds like latitude
Shut
and
up!
longitude.
Shut up. Latlis is the most beautiful it has ever been. Atlas is the best person on the earth.
Okay, well, before we talk about that, let's do
His
Taylor
only
Swift.
flaw is that he doesn't exist. But anyways, continue.
T Swift. So Taylor Swift.
T-Swift.
What is this? Is this her first album in like a year, maybe?
I have no idea.
I think it's like she hasn't had an album in a long time. That's all I know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
The album name is called Midnights, and she's been promoting it for a really long time. And honestly, her marketing skills are great because she got
Because she released it at like midnight on October 21st.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah.
Yeah. And so there's like 13, because 13 is like her lucky number for anyone who like knows. And she released 13 songs, and then she also like a surprise thing. At like 3 a.m. she released a bunch of extra songs called the 3 a.m. track. And honestly, some of the songs on the 3 a.m. track were better than her album songs.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to any of those yet, but I listened to all of like the main ones, and like overall, it's like I think it's pretty good, but it's like not what I expected, I guess.
I feel like it is what I expected, but I feel like some of the songs just sound the same.
Yeah, like some of them are hard to differentiate, but like, okay, what's your favorite?
Vigilante.
Same, I love the Vigilante
Bleep
one, because it's like, I don't know, it's very like Reputation-esque, and it's like, I don't know.
It's, Vigilante.
Halloween-y.
It's like, I feel like it's different from all her other songs on the album, and it's really like more, like the whole song is kind of consistent, because I feel like a lot of her songs in this album, like she said it's supposed to like represent her like lucid midnight dreams, and I feel like a lot of them do seem kind of lucid, like they do seem like really like outlandish.
Yeah, and like really like the lyrics don't make a ton of sense in some of them.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like weird and like eclectic and modern.
There's like this song about karma, and then she's like, a cat is chasing me or something.
That song was interesting.
That song was
A cat
really
is purring. Karma is a cat purring on my lap.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the times, just the lyrics don't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about her is that like she either has like this whole like cool storyline of lyrics, or her lyrics are just like make zero sense, but it's like eclectic.
Yeah, it like works for her.
And like another one I liked, I think we both liked Lavender Haze.
Yeah, Lavender Haze.
And then I liked Question.
Question I thought was okay.
It was like more of an upbeat one, and then like I liked Snow on the Beach, but like that was the one that Lana Del Rey was like supposed to like, she was like featured in it, and everyone was like really excited because it was like featuring Lana Del Rey and all this stuff, and then she was in it for like one line. Like I didn't even realize she was in it.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
I think some people are upset about that because they were really excited. But I mean personally, I really like that song though. Snow
I do like that.
on the beach, weird, beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really remember any of the tunes of her songs, to be honest, because I listened to them all so fast and I just forget.
Yeah, we listened to them last night, and then this morning I listened to them again.
Yeah, I did too, but I remember Vigilante and Lavender Haze.
I remember Bejeweled because that one was interesting. It was I didn't like it that much.
I honestly feel like this album is just all of her old albums compiled into one.
Because she has Reputation vibes, she has 1989 vibes, she has I don't know,
Evermore vibes.
Yeah, I think everyone's obsessed with Anti-Hero because she has a music video for it.
Yeah, she said that was her favorite song she's ever written. Personally, not my favorite.
I don't know. I'm really confused by it, to be honest, because she's I'm confused by the lyrics. I don't understand them because it's rooting for an anti-hero, but then she's I hate myself. I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, I get it's about her insecurities or something, and I feel a lot of people like that because they can relate to it. But I just didn't I didn't understand it.
Yeah, I didn't understand it that much either.
And then in the music video, there was a scene at her funeral about her children fighting over her will, and then there was different versions of her as a giant. I don't even know.
Really interesting.
It was really
the music
weird.
video was very interesting. It was unique. You can't say it's not unique.
It was, I feel it's supposed to symbolize her different feelings of herself or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was good. I feel she needed to make that for herself, which is good. But yeah, it was interesting.
She said it's one of her favorite songs ever written, and she changed her Instagram bio too. It's changed to one of the lyrics in that song. It's
what is it?
I'm the problem, it's me, or something like that.
Oh.
Cause her old bio was something else. Yeah, and then she changed it to I'm the problem, it's me, which is a lyric in that song. And one of her themes of her new album was ghosts. She talks a lot about ghosts.
Really?
Yeah, and then in her music video she put people in tablecloths and chased her.
Yeah. It was very interesting. And then I'm gonna look at what they
should we rate the titles of the main album?
Yeah, let's rate them. Okay. Hold them up. My phone's not loading.
Okay.
Because your Wi-Fi doesn't work.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna rate the main album ones. Okay. What's your number one?
My number one is Vigilante.
I say, yeah, probably same. Vigilante.
And then my number two, I feel is Snow on the Beach. And then
my number two is Lavender Haze.
And then number three for me is Lavender Haze.
Number three for me is one of her 3 a.m. tracks, Paris.
Okay.
Because I feel
And then number four, I liked Question.
Number four for me is probably Snow on the Beach.
Okay. And then five, I liked
Karma.
Yeah, actually, I did. Honestly, 5 is Karma, let's just say.
For me, 5 would be Maroon. No, Question.
Okay. 6 for me is... I don't remember the rest. Sweet Nothing, I guess?
Oh, yeah. Mastermind was my least favorite. I did not like
I didn't like...
You're on your own kid.
Oh, God. I did not. Personally, I didn't like that one.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel there's a lot of storytelling in her songs and kind of less chorus. There's no chorus in a lot.
It's it's hard to differentiate. You most songs, there's a specific spot that you sing shake it off, or whatever.
Yeah.
But with these songs, I feel it's harder to pinpoint what the actual chorus is. And,
there's no chorus. It's literally her telling a story the entire time, which honestly I kind of appreciate and kind of am.
And she very she writes her own lyrics, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of personal, and you can tell it relates to her life a lot, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I love T Swift, honestly.
Yeah, I feel music is a great outlet for a lot of people to vent about certain things, and they use songwriting as a form of therapy almost. And I feel this is what it is to her, because being in the public eye the way she has is traumatizing, honestly.
Yeah.
And
that's because she's faced a lot of backlash and a lot of people not treating her very well, Kanye West, and
just in general the rumors going on about her. I think that's what she wrote Shake It Off.
Yeah, and she felt a lot of pressure, and she had an eating disorder, and it was
yeah, and I feel like it kind of messed with her head a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to like vent about those experiences through like songwriting is really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright.
All
So
right.
I think that ends off our first half. Stay tuned for the next half where we talk about It Starts With
I'm
Us.
so excited. Bye.
We're back from the break.
Welcome back.
It Starts With Us came out on Tuesday. Celine, give us the background. I'll give it. There's a book called It Ends With Us.
No, I want to give this the background.
Okay.
There's a book called It Ends With Us, and it was like, I think it came out in like 2020 something.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was by Colleen Hoover, who's like a really popular author, and it was basically about like, there will be spoilers for both of the books, so if you like haven't read them, then
Yeah. And also
Probably
like don't read them if you're like below 13. Or if you're just emotionally like not ready.
yeah, there's a trigger warning
It's
for like
very
abuse.
intense.
Like there's like abuse and like a lot of like hard stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
But basically the first one was like this girl, and she like, basically her like parents were in an abusive relationship. Like her dad was like abusive towards her mom, and she like grew up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she was like growing up, she like met this dude who was like homeless, and he was like living in like this, wasn't it like a shed or something?
It was like some rundown house.
Like some like rundown house like next to
Yeah.
hers, and she like started giving him food, and then they like became friends, but then he had to like leave, so they hadn't seen each other for like 4 or 5 years, so she's just like kind of living her life, and then she like meets this dude named Ryle, and he's like this neurosurgeon, and she's like, oh, he's so hot, like whatever. And then they like meet again, and they keep seeing each other, and then they eventually start dating. But he starts like being abusive to her. He like hits her and like pushes her down the stairs, and he's like really like terrible towards her, and he has like anger issues.
Yeah.
And at first she's kind of like, oh, it's fine, because he has like a traumatic past and like all this stuff. But then she realizes that like she's not going to deal with this anymore, and then she finds out she's pregnant. This is after they're married too. They got like eloped, or they eloped. But anyways, she finds out she's like pregnant, and then she like has the child, and at the end of the book, she's like, I can't, like, we're getting divorced because I need to break the cycle of abuse. So, like, that's basically how It Ends With Us, like, ended off. And then It Starts With Us is the sequel, and it's, like, Atlas and Lily's point of views. It, like, alternates between their point of views in each chapter. And it's kind of just, like, it's, like, a year after she had her child, so it's not, like, a huge time jump. But, like, it starts off with her, like, meeting Atlas, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think, like, the reason that we're talking about this book is because it was so popular. Like,
Yeah, it is very popular.
one of the most popular, I would honestly call it the most popular romance novel ever written.
Yeah.
Besides Romeo and Juliet.
I don't even know if you would call it a romance novel, because I feel like it's, like, kind of more...
anti-romance.
Yeah, it's, like, anti-romance.
Yeah.
I mean, the second one is kind of a romance novel, but, like, yeah.
Yeah.
But the second one, like, I'm, like, almost done. I have, like, 50 pages left or something. But, like, so far, I actually really like it. I think it's such a change from the first one. It's a lot happier. It's a lot less, like, dark and, like... But that doesn't, like, mean that it's, like, stupid or, like, less impactful. Like, I feel like it's still impactful and there are important lessons, but it's just, like, she's in a better situation now, which makes it, like, more lighthearted, so, yeah.
Yeah, I read, like, a couple chapters. I don't really like It Starts With Us that much because I kind of feel like there's, like, not really a plot to it so far for me.
Yeah, I think the whole plot is kind of like her and Atlas, which, I mean, I ship them, so I'm, like, happy, but, like...
Like, I feel like there has to be some sort of, like, conflict or, like, plot twist in the book.
I mean, I guess the biggest conflict is that Ryle hates Atlas, but it's not really, like,
Also, I feel like she changed her... Like, when she ended off the first book, I feel like she made it seem as if her and Ryle were on good terms. But then in the second book, she kind of, like, 180'd that.
But I also kind of... The thing I like about the second book is that, like, there's no, like, redemption for Ryle, which I think is, like, necessary. Like, he doesn't deserve redemption, which I think is a good thing. She doesn't focus on his storyline anymore. She kind of pushes him to the side, and she's, like, recognizes that he's the father, but he doesn't deserve to have a second chance with her, which is true. So I think that's an important lesson that, like, obviously he's struggling and he's being affected by this a lot, but he was, basically the whole thing is, like, Lily's like, I get that he's like upset, but all of this was his fault. Like this was self-inflicted. He caused all of.
Yeah, but at the
these
same time, she would
problems.
still do things to like protect Ryle's feelings, which is like so.
I feel like
counterintuitive
in the first book, it was kind of like I was thinking about It Starts With Us before I read it, and I was like, I think it's gonna be a lot of conflict with like her still being in love with Ryle. That's not at all what happens. She's completely out of love with Ryle. Like she has no romantic feelings towards him at all, which was not what I expected, but I think it's a good thing because I just think it shows that like she moved on and she's like emotionally detached from their situation in a good way because she's done with dealing with that, and that's like the best way for it to go.
Yeah, I just kind of wish that there was like more like depth to the books. So
I mean,
because I feel like there's like it's just a lot of surface level stuff. Because the first book was so intense that I kind of expected the same intensity, even if it wasn't in like even if it was like in a different, more lighthearted way. I still expected like that intensity, and it's definitely not that intense.
Yeah, I think there is depth in like just the whole like her leaving the relationship and like finding happiness with someone else. I think there's depth in that. But I get what you're saying, that it's less like, I don't know, it's less like emotionally,
I also feel like it's literally kind of like the same thing for like 20 chapters.
Yeah, they do like repeat the journal entries and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like, I don't know, I was just expecting something different.
Yeah, I guess the thing I just like about it is that it's kind of like she's getting the happy ending, and like Atlas is too, which makes me happy because I ship them.
I know.
And like,
I will tell you why, because I know if
I can't, like, what kind of idiot doesn't ship Atlas?
Me. Because here's my reason. I just feel like Atlas doesn't, I don't know, I just think she willingly chose Ryle over Atlas.
Okay, here's what I think.
And I don't know, I think Atlas is too good for her.
Yeah, I mean, Atlas is too good for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think I agree there, because he's, like, so good that it's, like, he's out of this world. But, like, the thing is that, like, he deserves to be happy, and if she makes him happy, then, like, he deserves that.
Yeah, and
if
that's like, what they want, then like, okay.
Like, obviously, he wants her more than anyone else, and she makes him happier than anyone else, so he should get that because he deserves to be happy. Like,
I do.
It doesn't matter if you think he deserves better or something, because it's still, like, she makes him happier than any other girl could.
It just, like, makes me mad when I see, like, or like I read about relationships where one person is obviously more invested than the other.
I don't necessarily think
like definitely, especially like in the first book, it was.
I don't think
obvious.
he's more invested than she is in the second one, at least.
Yeah,
because I feel like
the first book tainted my opinion of her.
I don't know, honestly.
Because in the first book, she's literally like, "I'm done with Atlas, like never again," and then she like.
No, but the thing is,
I
just feel like they're soulmates. Like it's just fate. Like the fact, I don't know what to say, but like. Even if she loved Ryle as much as she loves Atlas, Atlas is still better because Atlas treats her well and she loves him just as much. So, like, why would you not want a person who, like, you love just as much, but who actually treats you well? So it's like taking all the good in the relationship and just getting away, like, leaving the bad. So it's just a good relationship.
I just feel like the fact that she willingly chose Ryle, like, rubbed me in the
But it's
wrong
like,
way.
it's not that she willingly chose him, it's that she was
like, being deeply manipulated, then I guess.
Okay. It's like she hadn't seen Atlas in forever, and she thought he kind of, like, just didn't come back for her.
She also moved on from him kind of fast.
From who, Ryle?
Atlas.
Oh, Atlas?
Like,
I don't think she moved on, but she didn't move on. She kept the journal entries, she kept the magnets. Like, she literally, in the amount of time she thought about Atlas.
Like, she could have lived without him, and she knew that, but Atlas couldn't live without her. And
no, Atlas could live without her, because he went to the military, he made his own restaurants.
But he went back for her every single time. Like,
no,
she didn't even look for him.
Okay, here's the thing. He went back for her, and he's like, she's happy, and that's, like, all I need. And then he lived his life.
Yeah, but he would never be complete without her. And the purpose of his life was her to be happy.
But she wouldn't be complete without him, because was she happy before him? No, she wasn't. She was abusive. No.
I mean, she would have, if Ryle wasn't abusive, she would be happy.
But he was abusive, though.
Yeah, but she was happy when he wasn't. So he was happy and fulfilled without him before that happened.
But so, you could say the same for Atlas. Atlas had his restaurants.
Yeah, but he was still, like, longing for her. I don't know.
But wasn't she also, in a way?
I don't think so.
But then, See, I just think you don't understand.
I don't.
I don't think, because here's the thing.
I
feel like she had
just don't
waited-
ship them that much.
She had waited so long to see his face at the restaurant that when she saw him, it was almost like anticlimactic because it was like, it was so weird to see him that she like couldn't process all these emotions. But in the end, it worked out, and in the end, it was like a slow burn that they got together again because it was like all this time apart. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel like they're soulmates, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just, like, I kind of know they're soulmates. And also, I read the last page of the book. Can I spoil something for you?
Sure.
They get married.
Oh, yeah. I actually think I knew that.
No, I'm so happy, though.
Yeah. But yeah, I would suggest reading it because it is like a good book.
Yeah.
I think. And it brings to a light like a lot of situations. I feel like I learned a lot about homelessness from that book, which is like not the main theme of the book, but I feel like I learned.
No, honestly, and also abusive relationships. Like, I learned about that.
And I feel like she wrote about it very realistically, and like how you can be manipulated, and how like it can seem like
he still gaslights her even after they're not together.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like the harsh truth which you need sometimes.
Exactly. So that's why I really like it. But
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks for listening, and
Stay tuned.
All right, bye.